Welcome to On Track. I'm Ayisha Jaffer. The countdown to the Winter Olympics is on, and one of the sports that tends to turn heads is curling. It's one that involves sliding stones and vigorous sweeping. And there's a curling club right here in Louisville. Derby City Curling Club has painted its ice and started the new season, getting the arena ready for anyone who wants to try it. I spoke with the club president, Joe Sorg, about the club's work and plans for this season. So, Joe, thanks for being here on Track.
Thanks for having me.
For those who might not be familiar with curling, what is it?
It's where you go out on the ice and you throw a 42-pound rock about 145 feet and make it stop at just a certain point.
And the goal is to get it close to a target, right?
Yes, it's called the house. It's like a big bullseye on the ice. It's the outside diameter is 12 foot. The button in the center is only about a foot diameter, and you want to get as close to the button as you can.
Where does the origin of curling really come from?
So curling is a Scottish sport. Way back when, they just decided to start throwing, so who could throw the furthest, and then they made a game out of it. The stones themselves are about 42 pounds. They're made from a specific mountain in Scotland. The density of the granite makes them the right stone to use.
So how did a club end up in Louisville? Like, what's the origin story there?
Well, Brett and Bethany Curry are our founders, and they were watching the 2018 U.S. Olympic team. The men win the gold, first time ever in the Olympics, and got all excited. Both of them said, let's try it. And our closest ones that were there at the time were in Cincinnati and Indianapolis, and they didn't want to drive 2 hours, so they decided they'd just start their own club.
So has curling season already started?
Yes, we start right around Thanksgiving, and we run through mid-March. That's when Alpine Ice Arena quits their ice for the summer.
So it's seasonal. The ice is seasonal.
Very much, yes.
But you're looking to make permanent ice, right?
Yes, they call it dedicated ice, which is strictly for curling. You can control the time. Mostly what we get out of that is more time available. Since we rent the ice, it gets to be a bit expensive. Alpine Ice Arena has other things going on that they only allow us to use certain times of the week. So that's the big thing. And then you have your own warm room, and you have typically there's a bar and a kitchen there that you serve people. So it's a very social event when you have your own dedicated ice.
Oh, specifically for curling, there's a bar involved?
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
And I came from Minnesota. I should know this.
We actually had George Tyler, which was one of the gold medalists, visit us twice. And the first time I met him, I said, can I offer you a beer? And he says, well, this is curling. It would be rude of you not to offer me a beer.
I love that. I like the sport already. So what was it for you that first drew you to curling?
My wife and I always watched it during the Olympics, and we'd actually pick out teams. We would record events that would happen in the middle of the night. Asia had a Winter Olympics a few years back, and of course they were airing it at 2 a.m. in the morning. We would actually record them and watch them the next day. And of course you wouldn't have any spoilers on the news, because who's going to see Yugoslavia and Italy play? It wasn't on the local news to tell us who won.
Yeah, and there's no bar just staying up till 2 a.m., right? Airing that?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a very practical way to do it. So your club offers all kinds of things. There's all kinds of things that happens in the season. One of those things is adaptive curling, including programs for wheelchair users. Tell us what that looks like in practice.
Well, just as a side note, Bethany, our founder, she has spina bifida, and she's wheelchair bound, and she competed with the USA team in fencing in 2004 and 2006. So she has a very competitive edge to her. So we have a basis of adaptive curling or wheelchair curling for the Paralympics. Essentially, they just set and push it with a delivery stick. So they're stationary and push it, and they have to stop. Now, if you compare that to what typically you see on TV, you have sweepers that can adjust the distance that the stone would go or the curl that the stone would take up. They have to place it at a specific point just with the push. So it's much more challenging for them just because they don't have the advantage of the sweep. Now, the delivery stick it's usually about 8 foot long, so you can get a nice pull back and a push with it. We use that a lot also with people that have other physical disabilities or physical limitations. Some people have bad knees. They'll just walk it down and let it release it with the delivery stick.
So it's a very inclusive sport.
Yes, very much.
And then You've also done outreach in the community from street curling at the Parkland Boys and Girls Club to a 2-year program with Hudson Middle School. What made youth curling a focus?
It's always a growth factor that we try to incorporate into our club. But when we get to dedicated ice, then, of course, we want to have a junior leagues that the kids will grow up with curling. And that's what we want to develop and encourage lifelong curlers.
Yeah, and it seems like there's quite a culture. I didn't know about the warm room. So wait, is the warm room, it's not like a sauna, or what is it exactly?
It's just not ice cold.
It could be lukewarm?
Yes. Typically out on the ice, if you're sweeping, a lot of people will be down to T-shirts. It's not like it's 10 degrees there. It's warm enough that you start moving and you're comfortable, but it's not a place you would want to sit and have a beer. You go out to the warm room, which is the 68 typical ambient temperature that you can be comfortable.
Yeah, and then you can have a beer and relax.
That's called broom stacking.
Oh, really? The act of drinking in the warm room?
After each event, after a game, typically both teams sit down, and it's called broom stacking because you take your brooms, put them in the corner, sit down, and have a beer.
Oh, I love that.
So typically the winning team buys the first round, and then typically the losing team buys the second round.
That's awesome. Well, I love that. I mean, it's inclusive. It sounds like a good time all around, but then also you have this outreach and you're encouraging youth. What outreach are you planning this season?
Well, this year we're going to focus on our club growth. This being an Olympic year, we expect a lot of people to contact us for right now with expectations of filling every weekend in February.
So I know community building is important to this sport, and much of that is in the form of bonspiels. Can you talk about what bonspiels are?
So bonspiel is a curling term for a tournament. And typically they're a 3-day event. You're guaranteed when you sign up 3 games, and out of that game you have kind of a round-robin thing where we've hosted bonspiels. Typically, they have themes. Ours was bourbon, so we called ours a bourbon spiel. And we actually had 3 tastings of bourbons incorporated into the weekend to entertain people from out of town. They're all over. They come from great distance. And, of course, we give little prizes out for the most distance traveled and the best costumes. Sometimes they'll dress up in the theme. It's just a lot of fun. We've hosted over 200 people in Louisville at these bourbon spiels that we've hosted.
So with the theme, people get festive and they dress up and they compete and you get to meet people from all around.
Oh, yeah. And it's so much fun. They just share what their club does and their lives, and you just really get to know some people from all over.
What's the furthest distance so far that has come to Louisville?
I would have to say probably the California team. Funny side story. Last bourbon spiel, I was out skipping our team, and one of the California women came out. And there was supposed to be 4 women. Well, the one ended up sick, their skip. And the one woman comes out and says, "Oh, your wife and Jenny volunteered you to skip our team." And I said, "Well, I'm not very good." And they said, "That doesn't matter. We're here to see Louisville and have fun."
Can you explain what a skip is?
A skip is the guy that stands down in the house, the bullseye at the opposite end that they're delivering the stone to, and he's the one that hollers and yells, and he does all the strategy.
That's the fun job.
Yeah.
I feel like you get to yell at everybody. What are some of the yells, actually? I forget.
The skip yells off, as in he likes the direction, likes the curl, likes the speed, so you just leave it alone. He'll holler sweep, which is a general sweeping, and then he'll holler hard if he wants it really to go further or maybe to stop turning as much. Now, what the sweeping actually does is the ice is pebbled. There's little droplets, which raises it up off the ice just a little bit. And what the sweeping does is it melts that ice. So the curling stone can't grab and turn, or it can't grab and stop. So it makes it a little more lubricious and will travel further and curl less.
What are the different positions and what are their roles in curling?
I'll start at the beginning. You have the lead. Typically, the lead will deliver a stone as a guard. He won't want to go into the house. He just wants to put it up front. So eventually, you can put stones behind it. Hence we call it a guard. The second will throw second. And each of these positions throw 2 stones alternating with the opponents. The second will throw the second stone. And that's usually either a guard or maybe go into the house behind one of the guards that were set up prior to that. The vice skip is the third one to throw, and he typically will do takeouts or go for another one in the house. You're not guarding at that point typically. And then, of course, the skip, when he's throwing his turn, the vice skip will go down and take his place at the house. And skip is usually the best player. He usually can put it right where you want to put it. He can take out other points. I've already seen where one team may have 5 points set up. The skip throwing the last stone, which we call the hammer, will throw it in and negate almost all of them. Maybe hold them down to 1 point, or maybe even take a point from them after being down 5, just in one stone's throw.
How do you win?
Each team will throw 8 stones, and whoever is closest to the button gets a point. Now, if you have 2 or 3 stones closest to the point, you get 2 or 3 stones. Now, as soon as the opponents get closer than one of the other stones, negates everything else. So it's only the closest, we'll say red. Red is closest. Yellow throws second closest. Red would get 1. Now, if yellow is outside of 2 of the red stones, they'll get 2 points.
What is a common misconception you hear about curling?
You don't need to wear ice skates. And there is curling in Louisville. That's the 2 right now.
What do you wear? Do you wear anything, or you just wear tennis shoes?
Typically, we have the curling shoes. One has like a gripper on it that really gets a hold of the ice good. When you're delivering the stone, you have Teflon on the bottom of your shoe, which lets you slide out. Teflon and ice is very, very slick. When you're not delivering the stone, you'll put a gripper over that Teflon so you're not slipping and falling. But other than that, that's the only equipment you need. Dress warm.
You know, there's so much going on in this curling club. What are your hopes for the future of the club?
Well, we would love to grow enough that we can get into dedicated ice. That is really our goal. And from there, it just expands. Cincinnati struggled for a long time. Most clubs struggle since we don't have access as an arena club. It's hard to get people to join. You only have one night a week. I have commitments on those nights and I can't make it. Well, now when you get into dedicated ice, you can grow. Cincinnati said they went from 75 to just short of 200 within a matter of a year and a half in their membership growth. So
Wow.
That's where we want to be. We can get into dedicated ice, offer more to people, be able to do more outreach because we have the time and it doesn't cost us anything. We just have the ice there, so we might as well go ahead and use it.
With the Winter Olympics coming up, as we talked about, are you going to have any events for viewing parties and things like that?
We do have some in the works. Pretty sure we can list those on our websites if people are interested. It's Derby City Curling Club website, and that's where you can sign up for Learn to Curls and see all what's going on. We expect every Saturday in February to be booked up with our Learn to Curls because of the Olympics interest.
For those listening who want to get involved and maybe try the sport, where should they start?
They should start at a website, sign up for a Learn to Curl. There will be a number of different dates available, and from there you just sign up. We keep contact with you, and you just show up on the morning that you signed up for, dress warm with clean tennis shoes, and we'll supply all the equipment.
And that's derbycitycurling.com.
Yes.
All right. What should people expect on their first lesson?
The first lesson, we typically just do a little orientation out in our warm room, a little video, show you the equipment we have, talk a little bit about safety. Then we take you out to the ice, and we have the basic instructions. We let you get the feel of just sliding the stone across the sheet, just nice, easy stuff. We show you how to push out of the hack, which is what you stand in to deliver the stone. I always say the first time you get there, it just feels so awkward, unnatural. Well, after you do it about 3 or 4 times, okay, you've got the movements down. You find out how to release the stone, where to put the turn, what the skip is calling, and what the signals he's calling for you. Now, you got to remember the skip is 145 feet away from you. There may be 4 other games going on and everybody hollering and all that ruckus that goes on during the game. So you have to get to know what signals he's calling out from that distance. Then we teach you how to sweep, what to do, when to sweep, when to be off, what to expect. We explain strategies and scoring, and then we play a little game we try to get in at least an hour of a game between the new participants.
Well, and since the Winter Olympics are coming up, I have to ask, as someone who is an avid watcher, do you have a team you're rooting for this year?
I tell you what, 4 years ago, the Italian mixed doubles were phenomenal. It was some young girl. Usually they're more seasoned players, and it's the mixed doubles, of course, it's a man and a woman, and they sweep their own stones, so there's only 2 of them. It's a little different setup, but it was really fun to see somebody that young and upcoming that's going to be around for a lot of years. And, of course, I'm always pulling for the U.S. women and men's team. They're always both fun to watch.
Oh, that's so exciting. I'm
Yes.
excited for this year's season. Well, Joe, thanks so much for being here on Track.
Thank you for having me.
On Track is produced by Louisville Public Media. Our production team includes Michelle Tyreen Johnson, Laura Ellis, and me, Ayisha Jaffer, with support from Rebecca Feldhaus-Adams and Alex Biscardi. Our music is by Kojin Toshiro. Find more at LouisvilleOnTrack.org, and remember, being kind is free. That's the start of community. Thanks for listening.
When it's this cold, curl up with a snack that's cozy and delicious, like My Mochi ice cream. My Mochi is scoops of premium ice cream wrapped in soft dough with delicious flavors like strawberry and mango. It's creamy on the inside and chewy on the outside, and only 70 calories apiece. Grab a warm blanket and snuggle up with a purple box of My Mochi ice cream today. It's the perfect wintertime treat.